In October 2015, China's one-child policy was replaced by a universal two-child policy. China announced that the iconic one-child policy had finally been replaced by a universal two-child policy. This change is highly significant because, for the first time in 36 years, no one in China is restricted to having just one child. By 2007, all provinces except Henan, which followed in 2011, had started to permit couples who were both only children to have two children. The potential effects of the universal two-child policy. Effects on fertility. The fertility level after the universal two-child policy is a key factor that will affect population growth, the proportion of elderly people, the workforce and economic development, the sex ratio, public health, health systems, and the environment. But the effects of the new policy may be less than expected. Effects on population aging. The rapid acceleration in the aging population associated with the one-child policy has created a significant challenge for China, and population aging will be substantially less serious with a universal two-child policy than if the one-child policy remained unchanged. There are two particularly vulnerable groups of elderly people in China. The first is the so-called empty nesters. The second vulnerable group is disabled elderly people. Effects on population size, workforce, and economic development. The total population size under the one-child policy would be smaller than under the universal two-child policy, which would cause serious problems for aging, pension fund deficiencies, and labor shortages. Effects on the sex ratio. This policy was interpreted by many Chinese people as implying that one boy was sufficient to ensure family welfare, but one girl was not, and thus that female children had lesser value, reinforcing the culture of preferences for sons and increasing China's sex ratio at birth. Effects on population health. With respect to the health of adults, the new policy should substantially reduce the tragedy of many millions of abortions due to so-called out-of-quota second pregnancies.